You're listening to On Rotation from your friends at CJLO. So let's get right back to it. What is a strange fruit? Or I guess, who are the strange fruits? It's not easy to describe a group that's full of enthusiasm and passion. And if there's one word that I can give for this trio of promising sound prodigies, well, they're spontaneous. And that makes the adventure more exciting. For a group that has stood by each other all the time, and at a time itself where self-expression is faced with the biggest challenge of all, resisting the dark claws of conformity. The following conversation you will hear is a fun one, and also a serious one, as they bring in a refreshing mix of healthy treats and tasty beats. With the help of our friend and on-rotation coordinator Joanna Kumo, I've had the chance to catch the fruits and the fruit flies as well shortly after they did their on-air radio debut.
1, then 9, and then without the 9 and the 1, it's like everything under the sun did not work.
But you know what? You folks did it. It was amazing. All of your voices were great, and I was like, "Whoa, this is so professional!" Oh my god.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe not, but thanks for the compliment.
Yeah, on our end, it just seemed like.
Did we fake it that well?
How much could we get away with?
No one would have known.
5 years from now, we'd be like, "Oh, it's our first radio show." Yes, such a piece of cake that was.
If we would pinpoint it to certain themes that for us really matter and make us right, it's always about, when we think about it, it's more about self-accepting and understanding that you can be you have to be true to yourself, but without undermining someone's individuality and existence. That's really what Strange Fruits is all about.
That's what stay cute, stay fruit means.
Yeah, that's what it means. So everything in the world that has issues or that doesn't understand that will kind of give us a sense to write music and do something about it.
The stay cute part is okay, so the stay cute part is don't be a bigot, don't overstep your boundaries over somebody else's life. You can't really dictate how somebody else can be or talk shit about their identity or discriminate against them. If you don't have something nice to say, shut up. And the fruit part is be yourself. Be yourself, but don't be an asshole about it. Yeah. That's Sarah C came up with Stay Cute, Stay Fruit. Yeah. How that happened?
Miracle Fruit.
How that happened was at our EP launch back in 2014. It was the first EP. She was there, and we were celebrating. She's like, "Yeah, our first CD, blah blah." We're walking down Gutineж, and she likes to ad lib a lot. Yeah. She's like, Stay Cute, Stay Fruit, and we all stopped. And we looked at each other, and we're just kid.
I mean, I think we gonna use that. Yeah. Shout out to Sarah C one time.
3 times.
My body. I should have done that.
And this is why together they make Phoenix Fruits.
This is amazing.
So
give us a background story.
So when we're not a group or we're in twosomes, we have names for that. We got the idea from the show Steven Universe, where two gems.
You got. Because I don't watch that show.
No, but I love Steven Universe.
Okay, sorry.
Me and Sage. We got the idea from fusions where two gems fuse together and become a new gem. Me, PassionFroot, Naïka, DragonFroot. You mix passion with dragon, it's like a fire, and it's magic. So it's Phoenix Fruit. When we start wilding and shit, or
what just happened?
Exactly what just happened. Or if we're in the club and we're doing a dance battle.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That happens a lot.
Really bring it out.
That happens a lot.
And we're both very much in tune with 90s black culture, so we bring that out. We're also very in tune with our ethnic roots. She's Haitian. I'm half Senegalese, half Ghanaian. We have a very strong connection to that, and that's something the both of us connect on that plane. Then you've got spark fruit, because you've got fire and the star, and it's a shooting star. And when there's spark, and when gabies, because oh my god, every time they're together they're so gay. Oh my god, I swear.
We're just when spark fruit is together, we're just really cute and happy all the time.
Yeah. And I can't stand it.
But we get really emotionally in tune in conversations when we're together.
Yeah, we'll have very like philosophical conversations
Yeah.
that we don't even know where they came from.
Yeah.
We'll just be like, what? Yes,
Yes,
exactly. We're just gonna
exactly.
be debating something that is gonna be super like
exactly.
important
That's
and
StarFroot.
relative.
Super,
And then
super cute.
you've got AstroFruit. We both are super into like, astrology, things that have a lot of symbology in it. We're also both very nerdy. We have really extensive vocabulary that Naïka cannot stand.
No, I'm just like, yo, bro.
Yeah, we're garrulous.
Exactly.
Oh, wow, that's deep. Wow.
What?
I don't even know what that
See,
means.
there you go. See, that's what usually happens. We're the ones that did vocabulary in high school. You know what I mean?
Vocabulary. I didn't even know that was even a verb.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, it's like a book where you like learn vocabulary words.
Yeah, I did
Use
Word Smart, the Princeton Review. But
Okay, there you go. It might be a Canadian thing. I had the American one.
Yeah.
So the person talking the most is
Yes.
Is
Me, PassionFroot, obviously. Passion. I have a passion for like what I love, so I talk about it a lot. It's a Virgo trait. I'm a very conceptual person, which is how we came up with our names. I was like, let's do this. We're gonna go by names, and then we're gonna go by fruits, and when I'm not happy, it's kind of like I don't black out, but I don't realize what's going on my face. Like when I'm upset, everyone just like thinks I'm gonna murder them, just based on the look on my face. I am not a loud person when I'm angry. I am exceedingly quiet and stern, and I've got these eyes. I already have big eyes, and like I get this from my mom when she gets mad.
But the way that you crinkle your lips too, you're just like
I'm
like you're seething.
seething.
Passion.
With rage.
Yeah, so DragonFroot. Actually, I got the name because
Pineapple.
because 2 years ago I didn't have the long ass braids that I have right now. I had like
A pom pom.
pumpity pom pom
On top of your head.
On
You
top-
look like a pineapple.
but they were like, we can't go with pineapple.
We can't
'cause
call
they-
you no pineapple.
No, that won't work at all.
So they went with DragonFruit, but it's not the only reason. I'm a very loud person.
Almost explosive.
Yeah, well, kind of. Yeah, it comes with it because I'm very like fiery. I'm very like dynamic.
Yeah.
I'm very spontaneous. I do stuff
Stupid.
without thinking. I'm very like go. Like I'm like very like I always dance. I always have so much energy. I always want to do like a bunch of stuff at the same time. I always say yes. Which is stupid.
But then you're just like, oh wait, no.
But then I forgot that I had to be at this place too. So like I'm always running around.
She always be telling me stories, and then the African mom in me come out like, you a dumbass.
Yeah.
Why do you do the things you do?
Yeah.
And like we also call it DragonFroot because she has a really deep register in her voice, so
If
she
y'all
kind
didn't
of she
notice.
roars.
Yeah.
When she be singing, she roars. Oh my God! Do you remember this time last year?
Well,
when
my
her
birthday's in a
birthday
week,
resolution
so-
Oh, there you go.
was?
Happy
What was your birthday
birthday.
resolution?
Her
last
birthday
year?
resolution last year was like, I ain't gonna be late no more. The minute she says that, she was late. Like the
She
minute
was texting us this half an hour late to a meeting. And I'm just like,
late. I was like, how is your?
Yo, I got it right. Nearly a year later, but yeah.
the last meeting we had at my house, he was late. And I was like, Sage.
Anyways.
And you, she always come in smiling.
Another reason why I'm
That's her.
StarFroot, I've got stars in my eyes. I'm always like the happy, smiley one.
That is true.
And it's also like my musical background is pop. So
Ah,
I'm
that
always
makes
very like
sense.
theatrical, and like she was saying, like I grew up like copying Barbie themes and singing them and stuff. So like I have a very like childlike like
That's
soul.
why she also goes by the baby. Look at
Yeah, I'm the youngest of the group.
But
so
then
she
again,
takes advantage.
but then
of it.
again, to be actually more technical, if there was someone who was more like a child, it would be me. Because
Oh my God.
Why?
because of all the stupid things.
She is literally 3. So Naika's messaging me on Facebook.
Okay.
Oh my God, I'm in so much pain. I'm like, what?
Apparently, I'm always in pain.
That's another thing. That's another common occurrence. So she's like messaging me on Facebook, like, oh my God, I hurt myself. I'm in pain. I'm like, what? What happened? My side is bleeding. Oh my God, are you okay? Yeah, I fell. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell happened? I fell in the shower because I was trying to reach for my cereal bowl, and then I stopped.
Joanna's just like, get the out of this room. Hey, man. Hey, Fruit Loops is one hell of a thing.
And
I have
then-
to do a shout out with Fruit Loops, though.
And then I stopped.
Fruit Loops, though. It's a
And then
shout
I
out.
stopped, and I'm like, cereal bowl. Yeah, because I was eating in the shower and I had it on the shelf and I reached and then I fell out. And I'm like, cereal bowl. In the shower. And she's like, yeah, and I slipped on some water and I fell. And then I was like,
obviously.
I immediately ceased to feel sorry for her. And I needed an explanation. I was like, why are you eating in the shower? Because I'm hungry. Okay. Problem solved. No. Why are you... It doesn't even make any damn sense. Your food's gonna get soggy or whatever the hell. Why couldn't you sit down and eat? Why couldn't you stop the shower, sit down on the toilet if you have to eat in the bathroom? Be stationary and dry.
Dreaming about the motherland, we're dreaming about the motherland, we're dreaming about the motherland, the motherland, the motherland, we're dreaming about the motherland, we're dreaming about the motherland, we're dreaming about the motherland, the motherland.
There's this thing that we do sometimes. We'll like make a crack about something and it'll be turned into a song. Yeah. And some of these songs make the book. They're just like, we keep bringing them up. Like, what was it? Boobies in the shoulder. Yeah. And there's like,
yeah, she has them
you
all.
really need context.
Wow, she really
because
has.
it's like,
I need sustenance. No, I need food. I'm a cutter bitch. I need food. Oh, I'm a cutter bitch. I need sustenance. I need sustenance. Yeah, like those are all the songs that we actually like have. Or there's like. I got.
Oh, wait. Let him pick one.
Yeah,
and then we'll
pick
start
one.
singing.
Pick one, and we'll sing.
I'm gonna randomly pick one.
Helicopter whip.
But actually,
This one has a dance move to it.
yeah,
Because
yeah. Okay.
So,
I don't
pick
know if I
another
can
one.
do this
I
in
can't.
the skirt.
You can pick another one.
Pick another one.
Because it doesn't work for radio.
Yeah, that's the
It's
thing.
like radio,
But there's
it's like
a
visual.
bunch of songs.
Instagram photos.
That was like one of the first ones that we ever made.
So that was like
No, it was over Mott's beat. Okay,
Yeah.
It was like you be chilling on them
Instagram photos.
hashtagging
On them Instagram photos.
posting food on the
Instagram
Instagram photos,
Bitch, I'm hungry on those Instagram photos.
taking
Selfie
selfies
on the Instagram photos. Go to school on the Instagram photos.
Go to school
on
on your
the Instagram photos.
Why you lying on
On
your
Instagram
Instagram
photos.
photos? No filter on
On
the
Instagram photos.
You are lying
Hailing
on
from
the Instagram
No
photos.
Bad Sound Studios in Montreal's Notre Dame de Grace neighborhood, Mags, Sage, and Naïka have been making music together as a unit for a little over 2 years. Throughout their artist residency, the Froots has kept wowing audiences with their skill and tact to weave together a rich and balanced blend of rhythmic beat making and a stylish presence on stage that could get the crowd grooving in no time. Whether that's a last-minute rap session at their welcome party at Concordia's Reggie's Bar, or serenading the crowd with lovely melodies at Parc des Amériques, the sound of the Froots is a fresh take on the hip-hop
it's
scene.
just wild. And like, I've been to Reggie's a few times, you know, being a Concordia alumni, and you know, people just go there to study or drink or whatever, but to have a full-on like house party-esque vibe where, you know, like you're in your basement, you're playing like reggaeton, hip-hop, that old school stuff, and you just bumping and grinding, and you just swirling your sweatshirt around, like you have that old school, high school feel, like, oh, it's Friday night, let's wild out, you know? And man, I haven't been to that kind of party in a while.
I've never been to that party. In fact, I wasn't expecting that party at
For
all.
real?
I was expecting it to be like a
Yeah.
Q&A, maybe a panel, maybe something
Yeah,
like
I
put on the
honestly-
stage, and like everyone's like
Yeah,
clapping for
I thought
us.
that was what I was saying. Like I got in with Chris was sitting there, and then I just started dancing because that's what I usually do on the daily.
It don't even have to be a party. She could be doing her motherfucking
Walking down the
groceries.
street.
I could be in the
Twerk
grocery.
team.
I could be just dancing, but that's what I usually do. And like, yeah, okay, like people are dancing a little bit, but then it just started, and I just turned around at one point, and it's like people are just turning up, and I was like, oh, okay.
And I get there, and it's way more packed than I expected it to be. I expected there to be people. I expected there to be music. light dancing, perhaps. This was something else. And then Sage is texting me the whole time. I'm on my way. I'm 10 minutes away. I'm like, honey, they're not waiting for nobody.
Like, they're not waiting for nobody. This is just a turn up at this point.
So not get over that resolution of being on time.
Yeah.
But then we can blame the metro because the metro is always late.
Yeah.
Right.
That is true. Why the
you
hell am I
45
paying?
minutes late from you got to
Plots the guns in.
ask
Just
yourself.
pilots and if it's ever done right, no politics can undermine suicide. Pesticide on crops will fly from the drops of many current minds. What can I do to prevent such massacres?
Juggling this residency and our respective jobs / school has been
A challenge.
an eye-opening challenge. You know, because it's like, I need to do this thing because I'm responsible for this residency, but also I need a paycheck and I cannot skip work for this. Like, you know, it's where you realize that artist life and quote-unquote real life sometimes don't concord at all, and it's like you have to really think which one are you going to prioritize, right? And it's like, me, I really want to be able to do both, and it's not possible, and it frustrates me. And it's like, I am trying so hard to be flexible. Like, the reason why I worked 14 days straight is because I tried to get a day off to come and record, and I couldn't even get that day off, right? And so I ended up, like, running here on the day I hoped to get off to record all my parts. I didn't record all my parts. I came in the next morning. I came in at 10. I had work at 12. In an hour, I put out all my parts. Like, I did everything. There were a few ad-libs that were missing, but I did everything. I was, like, really trying to compress as much as I could to this in that time frame, because I knew I didn't have a lot of time. You know, and I didn't want to sacrifice my work ethic, like, at my job for it, you know, because it's like, you tell the boss, oh, I'm late for an art thing. They're just going to be like, you're not taking this job seriously, you're fired, you know?
Exactly. Same thing at my work. I had to ask for a specific day off, actually today, like 2 weeks ago, and what ended up happening was my manager, who knew about this day off, she fell sick just earlier last weekend. And so she was out of commission. She had to ask a temporary manager from another store to come in to write her schedule. And then I had to inform this person. And even though she knew that I needed this day off, things didn't end up happening as easily. And I ended up having to switch the shift on, like, today with another one of my coworkers who was, like, I love her to death because she saved my life and allowed me to do this radio show today. And, you know, it's just really hard when things don't work out like you want them to.
Yeah.
But we find a way.
Yeah. And how about you?
I mean, my work is pretty chill, actually. It's not like those two. Because my work is like, it's a cafe bistro, and it's basically around Hochelaga quartier, and it's basically just trying to employ people, young artists, and some of the money that, like, we raise to, like, customers and everything goes to helping out the community, because it's a really poor community and stuff like that. So they're really flexible, and, like, pretty much everybody that works there is a musician or an artist in some ways. So it's easy for me, like, to, like, get things off. It's just that their schedule comes off a bit late, and it's like always sometimes like, oh, I have a band practice, oh, this, so then, like, we have to, like, cover shifts and then do that, so that happens a lot. But, like, for me to actually, like, get a day off, I can do it. It's just, like, you know, sometimes, like, people do, like, get off, so I'm like, okay, I know I have to do this because I still want money too, so so yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. If we know about things in advance, that's no problem. We can definitely be like, oh, yeah, I just need that one day off, and I'll work really hard in the next 2 weeks until then.
I can't even, literally, it's like Jeopardy.
I realized we actually have, like, different work environments, and it's like difficult, medium, light.
Right? Right.
You were going through the motions yet again. All alone, looked like you needed a friend. But what you needed was a little reminder.
Once again, from their EP, released in 2015, this is Live By Your Heart. Coming up next.
Well, for hip-hop, it's not something that's necessarily supported by the establishment. I think it's supported in ways that are palatable to the average Quebecer. So if you have like really cutesy raps about like La Belle Province or like that, then I'm sure it would be a hit. But if you're somebody who is just like a real hip-hop head, I don't think that there's much support, like establishment support here, which is why I think in many ways is almost like a brain drain of talent here in some ways.
All that and more when On Rotation continues from your friends at CJLO 1690 AM in Montreal.